Hello again. This is Psalm 83. It's a psalm that makes reference to various tribes and nations and places around them. And it's a psalm that calls upon God not to keep silent, to hold not his peace, not to be still. That's how it starts. He realizes there are enemies that he needs help against. And how many of us need enemies that we need help against? We definitely true. And then he says something that's extraordinary that I want you to let it be your verse for today. It's to do with those that would persecute him. He says, fill their faces with shame that they may seek thy name, O Lord. That's a simple word, isn't it? We don't often pray that prayer, do we? We tend to be a bit more like the psalmist, let's get rid of them. And there are many enemies that we need to say that too. The internal enemies, we want them destroyed. The various external enemies that would spoil who we are, what we should be. We want them destroyed. Oh, of course, if it's sex outside of marriage, it's the sex outside of marriage. We don't want the individual. We want them to come into this one. Fill their faces with shame. There are many people who are difficult, and we want them to return to the Lord. And this is a prayer that says, fill their faces with shame that they might seek the Lord. Fill their faces with shame that they might seek the Lord. Well, that's the verse for today, but there is another verse which you may want to have a meditation on for yourself, because it's unusual. That they may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, Jehovah, in the old translations, art the most high over the earth. That's an unusual phrase. His enemies, he wants them to know as a personal God, Jehovah, Yahweh, that was for the Jews. That was the name of the personal God. Through the Lord Jesus Christ, available to everybody. But to find this 1,000 years before Christ, I think that's worth meditating on. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah, art the most high over all the earth. Maybe there's 2 verses for you today. Boy in his Bible. Oh, by the way, there's only 18 verses, so you can read that over your cup of coffee now. Thank you for listening.